ankles, they call them fatty. Why would you call my ankles fat? But at some point, we gotta get to a point. All I know is he sat up there and threw a ball at the back of my head. I grabbed his shirt. I started punching him in his neck. I started punching him in his face. I started punching him everywhere. Everywhere that I was able to be punched, I just kept punching him. A yellow beach ball. Boom! I stopped. I think I've been giving y'all Gaga for a very long time. Like, I think I just been giving y'all too much Gaga. Gaga is fight stories. Gaga is like drama. Gaga, that's Gaga for me. Like, that is what I define is Gaga. A story time is just a story time. This is Gaga. I was inside the classroom. It involved maybe like 4 boys, and it involved me. Right? So at this time, we're pretty much taking a test, and as we're taking our test, we had like 60 kids in our class. It was a lot of kids. So they took 30 kids, put them in one classroom, 30 kids, and put them in the other classroom. So our desks could be far apart, and we couldn't, because they didn't want you copying off of your neighbor or whatever like that. This boy started bullying me. At this time, like, I don't know what was going on. I really hate to say, like, I was getting bullied, because, like, I feel like nobody can, like, bully me, but in a way, that, in fact, was bullying. Like, that was bullying. What you did was bullying. All I know is this boy threw a ball at the back of my head. Now, the thing is, I had experience with this boy for a very long time. Him just being a dick. Like, that been a thing. He used to go around the classroom, like, joking and stuff like that. And I think he was, like, a wannabe hood boy. And if you already know, like, the wannabe hood boys is not your type, like, your cup of tea. Like, it is mad embarrassing that you want to be so hood when you grow up in a household where you don't have to be. Where I went to school at was a very good school. It was very good, like, kids there, I would say, for the most part. We didn't have that many problems, and we lived in nice neighborhoods. Why are you being a maniac in school? 8th grade, mind you. We were in 8th grade, and you wanted to be hood. So, pretty much what happened was, we were sitting inside of the classroom, and he was a wannabe hood boy. He used to joke all the time, crack sick, whatever like that. But if one thing you should know about me by now, from telling all of these story times about me fighting, is my mouth is very lethal. So once I joke with you, I make you mad. He used to point at my ankles. He used to point at my ankles and call them fatty. Why would you call my ankles fat? Like, that was not it. So immediately, to get you back, I have to call you whatever I gotta call you. I have to get back. There's no way you're about to sit up here and call my ankles fat. You think I'm about to call my ankles fat, and now you think I'm not about to get you back? Oh, baby, trust and believe I got you back. So I remember he used to be like, yeah, you got the fat ankles or whatever like that. And he used to, like, putting in my feet. At this time, Vans were the hottest thing out. I love Vans. I used to have all of the colors. I used to have the red and blue ones, the checker ones. I used to literally have, like, every Van you could possibly think of. My thing is, I used to wear low-cut socks with my Vans or whatever, or I used to not wear no socks at all because they looked weird with my outfit. I used to wear, like, the khaki pants that used to be, like, tight at the bottom. Like, y'all know, like, the scrunchy pants, like the scrunchy tight pants. I don't know how to explain these pants. They used to be, like, tight little khakis at the bottom. And those are the pants that I used to be rocking with my Vans. And I thought it would look weird if I put socks on with it. I just thought I could dress. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. But the thing is, even if there was something wrong with my Vans or my socks, it was no place for you to be commenting on my ankles and calling them big. Rude. So I remember he used to always call about my ankles. He used to always say I was ashy. And mind you, I wasn't ashy because I made it my business when people would call, like, you calling me ashy. I used to make sure I put lotion on the winter time, social experiment. And it was literally not ashy ankles. You used to call me ashy ankles all the time. My ankles was not ashy. They might were fat, but they weren't ashy. Mind you, everybody was on my body. I ain't even going to say ashy ankles, fat ankles and all. Anyways, moving on. But the thing is, if you talk about somebody, make sure when you talk about people, you have the right. Because as I looked down at your shoes quite literally had a hole in it. You were wearing Air Max in 2018, 2019. They were not the hottest shoe out. You had Air Max on. Your pants was ashy. Your face was ashy. You looked ashy. Everything about you just was a disgusting looking factor. So, back to having a lethal mouth, you already know I said it. I said, you ashy. Your shoes like pan pickable. Literally, you got a hole in your shoe. It's pan pickable in my face. And really what I learned over the time, my mother always told me that when people look a mess or when people feel down about themselves, they're always going to come for you. So the same thing they're talking about, 9 times out of 10, they feel the same way about themselves. So, what he used to say to me, I used to say back then, you ashy. Literally, your face is like, if we rub your face up against the pavement a little bit with a little stick, we could start a whole campfire. Your locks that you had weren't relocked in I don't know how many years. So he used to have like his little laughing posse or whatever like that. They used to all be like, ha 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 ha, like everything was so funny. A mess. Literally, they all looked a mess. It was like a big mess group. And they weren't even laughing with him. They was laughing at him. None of them people were like, with you, because when you got beat up, none of them came through. It finally came down to test day. At this point, like, I used to joke back all the time. I never really cared about nobody joking because I was a jokester myself. When test day had finally came around, I remember I was like, you know, quiet. I really didn't care. But one thing about me is I get to my limit. I'm a quiet, I'm a my business, and I might joke with you here and there, but at some point, we got to get to a point. It was finally time to go to testing, right? They separated the 30 kids into one class. We stayed in one class. Boom, we're there. All I know is he sat up there and threw a ball at the back of my head. A yellow beach ball. Boom, I was fired up from there. At this point, I'm so mad. I'm literally like the angriest thing in the building. Like, if you wanted to know what spicy was, it was me. I was tahini with hot sauce. Like, I was so spicy. The other boy that was in the classroom, one of his homeboys started laughing. Ha 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 ha. Like something was funny. And I'm trying to figure out what was funny. Nothing was funny about him throwing the ball at the back of my head. Like, the man that helped separate the classes between the 60 kids was so tired of all the, like, the noise they were making inside the classroom that he was like, okay, y'all, like, y'all gotta go back to, like, y'all gotta go back to class. Like, there's no way we can sit up here and keep trying to test while everybody trying to test and y'all having a problem. He got somebody to come watch the class and he took us to the other testing room. I didn't think he knew I was, like, really, really mad because you threw a beach ball at the back of my head. We could joke all day. We can have conversation all day. Ha ha ha. Everything could be so funny. But when you start to physically touch me, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's when I like to say I was being bullied. Because that's literally bullying. Like, you sat up there and you threw a ball in my head unprovoked, like I didn't do nothing to you, you thought it was funny, and then the boy that you was with literally told you do it and you did it. Like, you thought that was funny. Mind you, the boy didn't help him fight. So, I'm like, why would you throw the ball at the back of my head? It was crooked. At this moment, hold on, I forgot, I left something out. I remember when he threw the ball at my head, originally I was about to pick up the desk and throw it at him. I picked up the desk, and I was about to throw it at him. It was like, no, please don't throw the desk at him. That's what I was going to do, because why would you throw the ball at the back of my head? You throw the ball at the back of my head, immediately I think anything around me about to get thrown at you. So I was about to throw the desk at him, and it was like, please throw the desk. They grabbed the desk, and that's when the man was like, y'all need to go back to class. Like, there's no way we can sit up here and do the testing with y'all in here acting a complete fool. I wasn't acting a fool. I was doing my test. I was doing what I needed to do. You just thought you was about to throw the ball at my head and get away with it. So finally, we walking back to the classroom. At this point, I'm mad. I don't care. I was drama. Yes, I was drama. I did it. What? What am I supposed to say? I was being drama. I said, your mother's a bitch, your father's a bitch, you are a bitch, everybody around you is a bitch, you can't fight, you a bitch, everybody around you, you's a bitch. I don't care. He was like, don't talk about my mother, don't talk about my dad. Oh, that's making you mad? Okay, so all of your family's mother, all of y'all mother, bitch. And guess what? His homeboy that told him to throw that ball at me was laughing. Yeah, your homeboy's laughing at you. So we walk into the classroom, he thought he was about to come over there, he was like, yeah, don't talk about my family. He come over there and push my shoulder. My mother always told me, if somebody touch you, do what you got did. I tore that boy the f up. I tore that boy up in the hallway. I grabbed his shirt. I started punching him in his neck. I started punching him in his face. I started punching him everywhere. Everywhere that I was able to be punched, I just kept punching him. He couldn't get enough because every single time every single time he'd catch his breath, I'm pulling him and I'm banging him again. I'm like, boom, boom. His head going bang, bang, bang. Yeah. How you feel? How you feel? The same way that ball felt. Bouncing off the back of my head. Ah! I kept on banging him. I kept on punching him. Like, literally, I just kept punching him. Eventually, I got tired. I'm sitting over here 500 pounds. I can't sit over here. Like, I'm not sitting up here keep fighting you. I'm tired. I don't want to fight you no more. I'm done. I'm breathing hard. Like, at this point, like, I need my ventilator. I don't want to fight you no more. So I kick him. Boom! He slides all the way down the hallway. You would have thought it was a bowling alley. He slides down the hallway. He talking about some shh. He thought he was going to bang me. He said, hit me right here. I said, ma! Had him up against the locker. I'm up against the locker. They breaking us up. I'm like, ah! He going to try to do my move. How you going to do my move and try to kick me? That's my move. You trying to steal my move, y'all? So I took his leg and I grabbed it. He said, yeah. So you up in that hallway. He wanted to rematch with me ever since. No, I'm not fighting you again. I'm done. Like, I already won my fight. No rematch. So, I'm like, yeah. And next time you talk about me again, make sure you know. And I took my shoe off, and I threw it at him. Ain't land. The shoe didn't land. I don't care. The shoe didn't land, but I still had to throw the shoe at him because what you thought this was? So, they had me inside of this room. For the meantime, they took me in, like, this office in the back, and I'm sitting in there. And they would call the nurse. They like, hey, do you need a nurse or whatever like that? Because the nurse has to come down there and check you out when you fight. So the nurse like, are you okay? I'm like, yes, I'm okay. She looks at my wrist. She looks at my hands. She looks in my face, and I'm like, my nose is buzzing. Like, you'll try somebody hit you in your nose and that bitch buzz. My nose felt like it was buzz. I think he hit me in my nose. So I'm like, did he hit me in my nose? Like, what do you keep asking me if I'm okay for? She asked me if I was okay too many times. My mother didn't come pick me up that day. I remember it took me so long to get home because for some reason my mother acted like she had like a million and one things to do. So they had called her phone. They didn't have her number inside of the system because the last 4 digits was like one of the numbers was wrong. But when I seen the last 4 digits was wrong, I said, I'm not correcting them. I said, I'll call her myself because I liked it that the number was wrong in the system. I wasn't fixing the number. I didn't want y'all to fix that number. So that's why I said, I'll call her. So I called my mother. I'm like, hey, could you come get me? Like, I got into a fight. She was, the assistant principal, she got this shake and go wig gonna talk about some, yeah, because the number wasn't working for us. Girl, you were about a number and I just got into a fight. Leave me alone. So I'm like, really? You got into a fight? My uncle on the phone, I was like, I'm gonna whip your ass. Girl, you don't even whip me, girl. What you trying to show off for these principal people? Like, I said, girl. Girl, who is you gonna hit? Like, girl, you don't even hit me. He crazy, y'all. Seriously, why you touch my shoulder, y'all? The assistant principal was like, yeah, I'll take you home. So I ended up getting in the car with the assistant principal. They didn't ask me too much, nothing about the fight, but they dropped me off home. And it was so embarrassing. Because I'm like, that was literally the most embarrassing moment in my entire life. Like, they got to drop me off home. So they dropped me off home or whatever like that. I goes to the house. I'm like, Mom? She's like, shh. They're like, we're just making sure you get in the house with somebody safe. Girl, my mom is right here. Why is the assistant principal drop me off? Why would she even offer to take me home? So eventually, I was suspended. They had called my mom. They was like, hey, you're going to be suspended for a few days, da-da-da. Or they called my mom and they was like, hey, he's going to be suspended for a few days. He's not going to be able to return to the school until further notice. Further notice means, like, they don't know how far you're going to be able to, like, how long it's going to take before you're able to come back to the school. It just is like till whenever is whenever, but you're suspended until we're done investigating. That's what they said. They investigated, a week goes by. My mother like, you need to go back to school. Let me go ahead and call up there and see why they're not allowing you to come back to school yet. She goes up there, they're like, oh yeah, let us investigate a little more. I go into almost 2 weeks of not going to school, and eventually they was like, yeah, you come up here for the meeting. My mother comes up there for the meeting or whatever like that, and they claim that I hit him first. No, I didn't hit him first. When he touched me, when he came to there and he touched me, he turned back around when I said your mother's a bitch. He turned back around. When he came over there and he touched me, it was no cameras right there in that little tiny gap. So y'all didn't see him touch me first, and that's why I had to beat him up. And it was like, yeah, he broke his arm, so that's why we had to investigate for this much of a long time. I don't know what happened on his behalf, because they never went into too much detail. And we didn't have a meeting with his parents, so they didn't go into too much detail on what happened after all of this stuff went down, so I didn't know. But what I did know is they asked me, they was like, oh, do you want to switch your classes or whatever like that? And I said, no, I'm not switching my classes. Like, I wish I would switch my classes because he's in there. I'm not switching nothing. I would stay in the class that I'm in, and that's just simple as that. So I'm sitting inside the class or whatever like that. I comes back. Turns out he got his arm broke. Baby, arms was broke. I didn't know I still went down the hallway that hard. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. But you should have left me alone. Like, literally, I minded my business, and you sat over there and kept calling my ankles fat and ashy. Why you keep calling my ankles fat and ashy? Now I had to beat you up. Because, like, at this point, we over fat or ashy ankles. Hope y'all guys enjoyed this story time. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. Leave a big thumbs up and some comments and some videos that you would like to see. And until next time, everybody. Bye.